I arrived about half an hour ago, but I had a full-on guided tour before I could actually extricate myself and get away. It was wonderful. I mean, it's the owner of the property. Could hardly say no. All right, who have I got? Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Anne. Hi, Mum. Hi, Greg. Hi, Kari, Michelle, Beverly, Tina, Julie, Robin, Joanne. Hi, Pamela. Welcome. And Beverly, Karen, Roberta, Debbie. Gosh, I've got lots of people, and I'm so sorry I'm late, everybody. All right. Let's anyone I've missed, I can see that there's a few more of you. I'm really sorry. Just assume that I'm saying hi and welcome. Let me just stand up, and I'm on a very low bench. All right, so before we begin, I want to acknowledge that we're meeting today on the traditional lands of the Wiradjuri people and pay respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. Oh yeah, I haven't seen you for a while, Kari. Welcome and thank you for joining me again. The other thing I'd like to acknowledge today before we begin is the very sad day that this is for people in the UK in particular, people from the Commonwealth, and from people all over the world who later on today will farewell someone who was extremely important in their lives. I understand that the monarchy means different things to different people, but there's no denying that this is a sad day for everybody. All right, so let's turn this around. The sun's just come out, which is gorgeous. And it's probably a perfect venue to just have some solitude. Now, I will try and explain this place to the best of my ability. As I said, Alan, the owner, has just given me a brief guide, and I had to sort of quickly extricate myself from him. But here we are. I've been told that we must, first of all, walk on the stones and not on the gravel. So that's the first thing that we need to be aware of while we walk around this beautiful garden. So the Goyu Garden, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Alan, the owner, started to build this place around about 40 years ago. It's an 8-acre property in the Hartley Valley, and I'll find a spot in a moment to show you what the property probably looked like before it became this beautiful garden. Hi, Tariq and Ollie and the bears. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is what was just pointed out to me just a few moments ago, is the triangular garden. Now, just to give you an idea of what this place means to the owner, every single rock in this garden has been deliberately chosen, and they represent the continents and the oceans. He hasn't had a chance to rake the gravel here today because he's been ill. He's had a long lasting bout of shingles, so it's been really difficult for him. So let's point out a few of the features that he just mentioned to me. First of all, at the back there, the far back, when the sun shines on it, you can make out a face in that one there, and that's deliberate. And the one to the right of that has been chosen, again, because it has a facial feature, and you might be able to see it appears to be facing to the left. The little grey button is like the nose of a koala. If you look closely, I don't know, tell me if that's what you see. I can, once it's pointed out to me, see that does actually look like a koala facing left. And the one on the right, as was just explained to me, again, looks like it's another koala with its chin up in the air, and they're having a big argument, these two koalas. So he just said that every time he goes to Japan, he buys all his rocks in Japan. Every time he goes to Japan, he measures every rock. They need to be a particular proportion to fit into his garden. Okay. Now, what was also explained to me is that the rocks for walking on have been precisely placed for short steps. And that's because the ladies in Japan walking around a traditional garden would be in their kimonos, and that makes their steps very short as they walk. So the stepping stones have always been placed very close together to allow for the ladies in their kimonos to walk across. It's also been explained that the level of the lake is very high at the moment because of all the rain that we've been having, and this particular lantern would not normally be in the water. It would normally be on a small promontory pointing out into the lake. Alan is first and foremost a nurseryman, and he has a nursery just over the other side of this hedge here. So he propagates his own plants. He has, I think he said, Australia's largest, I don't know, a large collection of maples. We are not allowed past this point. We're not allowed to walk on the gravel. So basically, this is as far as we can go at this point here. But what we'll be doing is walking around the lake. So Hartley, at this point, we're at the bottom of the Blue Mountains. Well, we've come down basically that mountain over there, which forms what he refers to as the borrowed scenery. So he explained to me that there were three important factors when deciding where to buy a property for the purpose of creating his Japanese garden. And they were the mountain, the lake, and there's another mountain that we'll see when we get around to the other side of the lake. So they all last for more than 100 years. So it was important to have those factors as part of his landscape, was to have elements that would last for more than 100 years. And this is a Japanese conifer garden in miniature. So he's explained to me that these trees here are between 35 and 50 years old. And you have to imagine yourself as very small, as if you are walking through a Japanese conifer forest. So I'm just going to walk across this teeny tiny little bridge, which is quite narrow, to commence our circuit around the lake. It's a real labour of love. All right, so you can see here that we've got prostrate conifers growing amongst the rocks here, replacing the gravel at this point. I just want to get around the bend here, back onto the path. Okay. Unfortunately, the wind's up today, so we're not going to get very many opportunities for beautiful reflections. But there will be water views for most of the walk around the lake. And if we have a look across the water there's a mound next to a shed. Growing across the top of that is a white phlox. So when that comes out in flower, it will look like a miniature Mount Fuji. Little birds are gorgeous. I don't know what sort they are. I haven't seen any of them yet. I've only heard them. So at this point here, this is what the property would have looked like when he first bought it. You can see the sort of just grass on that little hill over there. That's kind of what he would have bought all those years ago. So here we are looking back across the lake at the garden. Hi, Mary Lou. Hi, Katie. All right, while we're walking, pop into the chat a thumbs up if you're new to Hago, first of all. No, it's just old farmland. Hartley Valley was the first place that the early explorers arrived at when they successfully crossed the Blue Mountains. Well, thank you, Katie. I appreciate your support. So, Patricia, you're new to Hago. This is your first tour or one of your first tours? And do you need me to talk you around the all the little buttons that you can see on your screen, or are you comfortable with those? Okay, so we've arrived at our first platform. I just need to watch where I step. Okay, no problem. So we're going to walk around the perimeter of the lake, and there'll be various gates and lanterns, pagodas, and all of those sorts of Japanese features that we'll come across as we walk around. And this is where the triangular rock garden is situated that we just saw. That's just over there. I don't think he's from Japan, but he certainly has a love of all things Japanese. So Goyu, the name of the garden, Goyu Japanese Gardens, Goyu means confluence, and he's created a garden which is a confluence of water and stone, water and dry. The gardens have been influenced. He's taken his inspiration from, I've got it written down here because I knew I wouldn't remember. So he's taken his inspiration from the Adachi Museum of Art in Yasugi is one of the gardens he's taken inspiration from. Look where I have to walk here. Sort of have to battle these conifers to get to this platform. There we go. And also from the, I think it's called Ryoan-ji, the Temple of the Dragon of Peace in Kyoto, which is a World Heritage Site. Hi, Christine. Hi, Carolyn. So at this point here, this is the third element that he very much wanted as part of the backdrop, and it resembles Mount Fuji. It is similar in shape. I think it's called Sugarloaf Mountain. Don't fall in the lake though, I'm standing well back, Michelle. It's a shame about the wind. Would be perfect for reflections, this lake here. All right, so we're going to go down some stairs. Hi, Annette. Welcome. So we have, as far as I can tell, we have at the moment on this tour, Pamela and Annette are both guides. If there's any other guides on the tour, can you please give me a wave right now? All right, so I don't know if the water's running. Let me see. Oops, I'm walking on the gravel. Not allowed to walk on the gravel. Now, I believe that this is an example of a shishi odoshi, which is a deer, or in this case, kangaroo scarer, but it doesn't appear to be operating at the moment. I believe when it's working, what is supposed to happen is, I might be wrong about this one. I believe what's supposed to happen is that the water pours down that bamboo pipe, and then as it fills, no, I might be wrong about this one. The way that a deer or kangaroo scarer works is that it gradually fills and then it tips back and hits a rock. So as it hits the rock, it makes a tapping, loud tapping sound, which scares the deer or kangaroo away and keeps them off your garden. Right, it appears that we only have Annette and Pamela, I believe. And ladies, I want you both to pop your channel links into the chat so that anyone who's not familiar with your channels can follow. You're welcome, Annette. You started this and it's a great practice. I've got hair blowing in my face. I should have tied it back. All right, it's a bit slushy around this part. We just need to be a little bit careful. Now, I believe what's happening here is he's building a tea house. Here's another one of these lanterns. The general public can visit, and he often gets buses, but there is an entry fee. Mine was a little bit cheaper because I'm a senior. And you know what the worst part about that is? He didn't ask me for proof. I should feel totally insulted, shouldn't I? Thank you, Pamela. Everyone, you need to follow Pamela and Annette and follow their channels. They both do excellent tours. Pamela's tours in Banff are wonderful. I have an honest taste. What I have is grey hair. All right, so here is the first gate. Hang on, let's get back here and give you an opportunity to look at the gate here. There we go. And that has, if I get to the right angle, that has a shot of the Sugarloaf Mountain through the gate there. Okay. And, oh yes, that's another thing he just explained to me. That beam is 5 foot 1 inches. And it's deliberately set. It's deliberately positioned low to force you to bow as you go under the gate. So here we are, everyone. We're bowing. There. It's pretty gorgeous, isn't it? Thanks, Annette. Annette makes beautiful resin jewellery. You wouldn't need to bow. Wear your platform shoes. Join in with the rest of us. Okay, let me just turn around. So there we have, he said that at any point, apart from that first little bit, at any point around the lake, you can always see the triangle garden over there. So coming into spring, we don't have very many cherry blossoms around the lake itself, but when we finish, there is a little spot where we'll get to see some cherry blossoms as well. Here's another one of these lanterns. Just trying to find a good angle for you. So that's where the phlox is growing, I think. Is that what he was referring to? I'm not sure now. I thought he meant this, but might have been referring to something else. We'll keep an eye out. This looks more like a young bamboo or something to me. Not sure about that one. So these are all the maples. There's just hundreds of maples. They're all about to suddenly shoot. The leaf buds are about to open, very close. I reckon we're probably about a week or so away from them coming fully out into leaf. I'm just a tad early. So another example of a garden looking completely different the next time you visit it. Look at this little guy. Oh, here we go. What is he doing? I'm not sure. He looks like he's holding a duck or a goose maybe. Hi, Cindy. Okay, let me get back. Yeah, it's cute. Oh yes, this is the place. Here we go. So the phlox is just starting to come out. We're just around the other side of it. So when that's all out, from across the lake, this is going to look like a miniature Fujiyama with snow on top. Yeah, lots of buds. Everything's just a tad early, but that's okay. It's still beautiful. I confess, I didn't come in and check the signal. I checked the signal from the car park because I didn't want to pay that entry fee twice. So this is my first visit to this place. So we're all discovering it together. All right, what's a good spot for this rock? Ooh, careful what I walk back into. There's a lantern over there in the background. I can hear frogs. This is a gorgeous conifer, this one. Look at it. It's just about to do something. What it is, I'm not exactly sure. Are they flowers? Seeds? What are they? Pollen sacs, is that what they are, Pamela? I don't know. Let's have another look. The new needle's ready to burst out. Yep, could be that. It's really interesting. I had no idea this place existed until about 2 weeks ago. Here's one that's just about to is it coming into flower or leaf? This is the time when you need little signs, isn't it, telling you what things are. So there again, it's showing you that the water level is higher than it's meant to be. That lantern is not meant to be submerged. It's meant to be sitting on the end of that promontory over there. So I think this bowl is meant to be used for hand washing traditionally. Not necessarily while we're walking around the garden here, but in a traditional Japanese garden. I think that's intended for hand washing. Here we go. You can see how much water is lying on the ground here. Let's have a look back across the lake. Imagine if this water surface was still, how lovely it would be looking. We'll zoom in on a couple of the aspects that we pass by. Oh, this poor little lantern sitting in the water here. You're not meant to be there. He bought the property 40 years ago. I think he said he started building it about 35 years ago. This is something, just throwing up some new growth. I'm not sure what this is. Just starting to see the green pop out on it. Are they deciduous conifers? I'm not sure. Right, this bridge is not for walking across, it's just for show. I'll try and get that orange cone out of the view, out of the frame. Listen to the frogs. And the magpies. Where's a good angle for that one? Maybe about there. Yeah, imagine this is your own private garden. It's amazing, isn't it? These are really weird. They're tree roots, but they've got sort of big nodules on top of them. I don't know what that's about. Isn't it, Kari? I think I'll be coming back here again. Cypress trees. Oh, okay, thank you for that. Let me see. I want to try and get this little bridge from the side. Obviously, if there was no ripples on the water, we'd be getting a nice reflection there. Now, Annette, with permission. With permission. He gave me lots of instructions and directions, most of which I've forgotten. You know, when you get to this point, you've got to turn this way and help. We're definitely winging it. Look at the colour of the new growth on this one. It's white. I've never seen anything like that before. Lynn's backyard tours. Do you think? All right, we've got a little bit of a bridge reflection happening over here. If I zoom in, you can see the lantern as well behind it. Gorgeous. Hi, Jordan. Thank you for joining us. I hope you don't mind looking at trees. and flowers, because that's what we're about here today. All right, which way do I go here? Which way do I go? We might go, let's go this way. There's another reflection, another bridge reflection. Let's get in close on that one. So anyone on the tour who hasn't done one of my tours before? Kayla, you're new to my tours. Welcome. And if you're enjoying this one and would like to see more of the same, don't forget to hit that follow button at the top of your screen. That way you'll get notifications when I post new tours. And also if I need to let you know of anything, of any changes, or send you a reminder about something. Let's go over this way. Let's pause here for a moment first. Does he have help with all the work? I didn't ask him that, but I couldn't see any evidence of any other people when I was up there at the nursery paying my money. He appears to be doing it on his own, which is quite astounding, really, isn't it? Thank you, Joanne. Thanks for your support. I'm always grateful. Let's find a spot here. Unfortunately, that one's being obscured. Maybe there. It truly is a labour of love, isn't it? So beautiful. And would take a lot of work to maintain it. Hell of a lot of work. Do I trust myself to walk across there, and do I need to? Let me see. Hi, Ronnie Lynn. We're about halfway round. So, here we go. Made it. Taking all the risks for you guys again. The signature pieces he brought back. So I think this one probably came from Japan. Hi, Jen. And possibly this one. But he hand chooses them, he measures them, he looks for facial features in the rocks as well. Let's go back again. Let's not fall in the water. He also told me that the lake started out bigger than this, but it was very shallow. So when we were in periods of dry spells and the lake evaporated and dried up a bit, you would get the sort of cracking around the edges, and people didn't appreciate that aspect. They found it quite ugly. So he decided to reduce the size of the lake and increase its depth. Here's something that's about to flower. Very red leaves. Oh, low battery. Hang on, let me just turn my battery pack on. Bear with me. Where are you? There you are. Okay, that should solve that problem. Yes, I was told not to go up that path where the chair is. Yeah, puppy poo. Another little conifer forest. We've got some spring flowering bulbs over there, so we'll go walk past those as well. Who else joined? Hi, Donna. This is unusual. I've never seen anything like this before. how late are you? You are about 37 minutes late. Okay, I just need to be careful here. It is a little bit muddy. We still have some to see. I think I made this tour an hour because I wasn't sure. There's another lantern. We didn't want to pay 2 entrance fees, Annette. So he's at home on the end of a karcher, cleaning paving stones. The finishing line is in sight. We can almost taste it, the house being ready to sell. Hi, Makiko. Oh, there's that chair. Hang on, am I on the wrong side? I don't know now. Let's just go back the way we came then, shall we? Daffodils, 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 daffodils. Yes, we saw lots of daffodils yesterday. He doesn't have a lot of daffodils here. These daffodils or jonquils? I have a feeling they're jonquils. Oh, these ones are daffodils, I think. Very small ones. Very tiny ones. Yesterday's tour turned out so much better than I was expecting it to. As we were driving out there, the trees are swaying backwards and forwards. I thought, oh yeah, here we go, typical wind. But it turned out it wasn't too bad. The sun came out. It was very pretty. And we stayed away from the section of town where the signal is. Okay, tell me you're back. Are you back? I've got 5 bars again. Oh, yay, you're back. Fantastic. Oh, I had to go scooting around saying, please, please, better signal. And we got it. Excellent. All right, so we missed about, I don't know, 20 meters or so. But that's okay because this spot's really pretty. Look at this. Did I miss any chat? That's what I'm checking. There we go. So there's another one of those hand washing basins, I believe. And this is definitely not a bridge for climbing. Pretty sure that's a bridge for getting a reflection shot of. So let's see if I can find a spot to get the reflection. Do I go left or right? Let me see. Look at this beautiful gate up here. Oh, goodness. It's so pretty. Okay, we'll go this way first and see if we can get a reflection shot from that that bridge. Possibly down here. Not quite. But I can't see another spot to stand down there. Or maybe. All right, we're going to try going down there. We want that full circle. We want to get that full circle shot. So let's go back down this way. Oh, which one? Yeah. Oh, those ones are conifers. Yeah. He propagates. He propagates all sorts of huge numbers, lots of oh, I don't know if I can go over there. Let me see. Am I allowed to walk on the garden here? He did say there was one point where you're allowed to walk on the garden, but I'm not sure if it was here or not. Oh, we're not going to get a reflection from here anyway. No, it's not going to happen. All right, okay, let's backtrack. This way. Look at this thing coming out. Yeah, my pleasure, Becky. Hi, Janice. Hi, Peg. And thanks for the follow, Marina. All right, let's go back up this way. This one's coming out, whatever it is. Some kind of apple, maybe? Is that what that is? It's a very small leaf. Hi, Laurie. Dainty little flowers they are. Okay, we'll go up this way. Back through the gate. And I'm guessing that this is another kind of lantern. This is a series of waterfalls through here. He did explain and apologise that he doesn't have the power turned on at the moment, simply because of the power cost, the cost to run the electricity. So he only runs the power for the fountains, for the waterfalls, when there's a bus tour. So I have to come. I have to come when there's a bus tour. Is that in a nutshell? All right, let's get this gate in. That's so pretty. Look at that. Sneak on a bus, yeah. Adult entry is $20. I paid $15 as a senior. I love the way that tree is framed through the gate. Let's get a tiny bit closer. Here we go. So people leave donations here. There's lots of coins. Yeah, I guess it is. I guess it's a lot to pay, but it is really beautiful. The Chinese gardens, it's privately owned too. I guess it's. How do you compare it? It's a difficult one, isn't it? The Chinese Friendship Gardens in the centre of Sydney charge a lot less, but they also get a lot more people through, and it's in a much smaller, more compact area as well. So I don't know. How do you quantify that? Anyway, this is a bit slushy through here. I just need to be a little bit careful. We'll look back on this bridge here. Let's see. That's true, Annette. I've been to the Auburn ones, not during the cherry flowering time, which I believe is right about now. It's beautiful there too, but that is, if you're not a resident of, I think it's Auburn Council, Granville Council area, they ask for a $5 entry fee to the Auburn Gardens. I haven't been to Gosford. And there's a small Chinese garden out near Blacktown as well. Cumberland Council. Thanks, Sandy. Let's keep the pagoda in frame while I just change the angle slightly, get that path in. The rock. Do you want another look at it? It was a spectacular rock, wasn't it? I must make an effort and get there, Sandy. Here we go. This rock here. Trying to get it. I'm going to cut off the bottom because I don't want that big hose in the frame. No, he's not Japanese, Marina. We'll go back and give you a different angle. He's not Japanese, but he obviously has a love of Japanese gardens, and being a horticulturalist as well, has the ability and the knowledge to make use of that. Here we go. All right, am I allowed on this path? There's no stepping stones. I don't know. Am I allowed on this path? Or do I have to go across the grass? I'm going to be safe. I was told quite sternly to stay off the gravel, but this grass is quite swampy as well. I don't know now. I feel like that gravel must be okay. All right, I'm going to chance it. We'll know if it's not okay. We will, won't we? All right, I know I can go down to the water's edge, so I must be able to walk on this bit. Okay, we're going to go down here. Hi, Paul. You're all going to get into trouble with me. Okay, we'll all take the rap together. So I imagine that these would be trestles for growing, looks like possibly wisteria that's about to come out there. Oh, you have a pact. What sort of pact is that? Come on, I want to be part of that pact. And look at this red, I believe it's a maple. The colour of it. It's stunning, isn't it? Look at that. We've got some pink azaleas coming out over there. All right, I'm backing away. We're going to go down to the water's edge down this way. Stop here for a little picture. Let's stop here. Ah, yes, and you know how to ask for a solicitor in French, Annette? Don't think that'll get you very far around these parts. Hi, Jane. Got some bird statues here. And that's important. That and how to ask for a beer. In my face again. I can't read the chat. Hold on. Oh, okay, that's just Beverly talking to Annette. That's okay. Here we go. This is quite pretty. Try and get closer to it. I want to get down low if I can, so I can look across the water. Okay, how's that? There's a little coot in the background. It's not actually a duck. See if I can zoom in on him. It's a coot. So they don't have that large beak. They have a little pointy beak. Do you see that? I'm not sure how clear that is when I zoom in. Okay, well, let's go back this way. Just looking for some more opportunities. Postcards. Whoops. Around this way. That would look pretty once the maples are all out in leaf, wouldn't it? And there's one of these gorgeous conifers, one of the white ones. Hi, Mary Lou. Yes, that's their house up there. Okay, round this side here. I thought I saw another coot. Where did he go? Who likes paths? Who likes pictures of paths leading to places? This one doesn't lead anywhere. It leads to a sunken lantern, flooded lantern, but it does have that little bridge in the background. Hi, Jose. All right, we're nearly finished. We're nearly at the end. I just want to go over and check out these cherry blossom trees I saw. He told me to, I think he told me which way I need to go. Let's see. Also keeping an eye out on these coots. If they come close to this side, I'll stop for a picture, but they're right out in the middle of the lake at the moment. Oh, here's one. That little guy there. There we go. You coming around the other side? Or are you going to hide from us? They're pretty cute. All right, let's go up this way. How are we going for time? We've almost hit the hour, so that's not too bad. It's a lovely little plant with all this red foliage coming out. And I managed to get featured in that yesterday on Hago section. I'm pretty happy about that. 2,500 postcards were taken on my daffodils tour yesterday. That's pretty cool. All right, let's go out this way and look for the cherry blossoms. We literally are in their backyard now, Annette. Wow, look at this. That's really cool. I have no idea what sort of tree that is, but it's very weird looking. Yes, you talking to me? Alrighty. Look at those. I'm going to zoom in. I'm not going to walk on the grass, we're just going to zoom in. Which means I do need to pan a little slower, otherwise I'll make you all seasick. There's a whole row of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. How pretty are they? So gorgeous, so pretty. There we go, fill your screen with pink. Okay, let's zoom back out. I'll get back around to near where my car is. And do I go this way? I'm not quite sure. I think I can go this way. I'll look back the other way anyway. We'll go out that way. That way looks like it's blocked. We'll go back out the way we came in. Go back towards where my car's parked, and then I'll farewell you all from there. What did you think, guys? Did you love the Japanese garden? It's pretty beautiful, isn't it? And unbelievable that it's just a private project. One man and his wife. But he does the majority of it. He's the gardener, as far as I can tell. The colour of that, it's almost gold. You're very welcome, guys. So, before I say goodbye to you all, tomorrow we'll be off on another adventure. It takes me about an hour to get down to Narellan, Mount Annan, in the southwest of Sydney. And we'll be looking at the paper daisies at the botanical gardens there. This is the garden centre. So there we go. All these plants in pots. This is the garden centre. So tomorrow, as I said, we'll be going down to the botanical gardens at Mount Annan and checking out the paper daisies. I know the signal is sketchy there. We may have to stand in one spot and just look at paper daisies for an hour, but I'm going to attempt to see other parts of the area as well. All right, so thank you, Hayward. I appreciate your support. I'm all red in the face, look at that. So I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. I'm going to get down there. Let me see, it opens at 8. I'll give myself a chance to sort of scope it out a little bit and see if the signal's any different to when I tested it the other day. I match my car. How rude. Yeah, thanks, Annette. All right, so thank you all again. And if you enjoyed the tour, you know what to do. Share postcards, follow, leave a review. And if you feel you can, I'm always grateful for any tips you're able to spare. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye for now.